In this video, we're going to take a look at alkene nomenclature. We've seen a little bit of practice with this, but let's just kind of define some of the rules when it comes to alkene nomenclature. First off, when you've got a compound that's got a carbon-carbon double bond, the key is you always want to find the longest continuous carbon chain that contains the double bond. Then we're going to try and give the carbons of the double bond the lower number, and then we'll worry about substituents. So let's take a look at a very simple example. Here we have a hydrocarbon that's now got a double bond, and we want to number the carbon chain to give the carbons involved in the double bond the lower number. So I'd want to start numbering at this end. Okay, if I'd numbered the other direction, I would have given this first carbon here the number, so this is 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I want to number it to give the carbons of the double bond the lower possible number. So this is definitely a pentene, so we're going to use now the ene suffix. So we'll replace the alkane name, which would be pentane. We just drop off the ane ending, and we're going to append this ene suffix. Second, we'll also need to indicate the position of where that double bond starts. So the name of this is going to be 2-pentene. So I've added that ene suffix, and the 2 is indicating the position of the double bond. Now we don't, I'm just drawing that in for clarity. You're not going to put that in your actual name. So 2-pentene would be the name of this molecule. So just to review, number the chain as you, or identify the longest continuous chain containing the carbon-carbon double bond, number to give the carbon-carbon double bond the lowest numbers, append this little suffix ene, and then indicate the position of the double bond with a number. Let's take a look at another example. All right, so here I have a molecule where I sort of have to choose, well, which end do I want to identify as being the lower number? Well, I just stated that for alkenes, you always want to give the double bond a lower number. So double bonds take priority in naming and numbering over regular alkyl branches. So I would number in this direction. Okay, and notice now that does give my methyl groups a higher number, but I've adhered to the fact that I want to give my alkene carbons the lower number. So I now have 2 methyl groups coming off at the 5 position. So this would be 5, 5, dimethyl. And then the rest of the molecule is a hexene, but the position of the double bond starts at 2. So this would be 2-hexene. And again, I'm tacking on that ene suffix. So 5, dimethyl, 2-hexene. Let's take a look at another example where I have 2 double bonds. So in this case, we're going to treat this kind of like we did with the dimethyls. We're going to use the prefix di in front of the alkenes because we now have 2 of the alkenes. In terms of numbering, I would want to number this way. Notice that my carbons have a 2-3 or a 4-5. If I numbered the other way, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually, it really doesn't matter in this case. I could have numbered the other way as well. It was sort of arbitrary. All right, so the position of the double bonds then is going to start at carbons 2 and 4. So this is a hexene, but in terms of numbering this, I'm going to call it 2,4-hexa diene. So notice what I've done. I've taken the word hexane, I've dropped off the N and the E of hexane, put in this little prefix di, and then the fact that there's 2 of these double bonds, diene. So 2,4-hexadiene. If I had 3 double bonds, it would be triene, 4 double bonds, tetradiene, and so on. So just to finish up alkene nomenclature, let's just take a look at cyclo alkanes. So it is possible to have molecules that have a double bond within a ring system like this. So just like we saw with the regular straight chain alkenes, we'd want to name and number this to give the double bond the lower numbers. So I would want to number this in the following way. Okay, I do want to try and give my methyl group the lower number, but I also want to try and give both carbons of the double bond a lower number first, and then I would worry about substituents. Notice if I went the other direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I would have given my methyl a much higher number. But also, you do not want to number it to give just one of the carbons a low number. So I wouldn't want to number this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because that would give the carbons of the double bond a 1 and a 6 number. So you always want to try and give the carbons involved in the double bond the lower possible number. So in terms of naming this, I now have a 3-methyl substituent. And I now have a cyclohexene compound. So instead of cyclohexane, I drop off the ane ending and tack on the ene suffix. Now, you could put in this the number 1. Okay, that is optional. Okay, so it is indicated in the name if I just cover up that and just don't even have the 1 in there. 3-methyl cyclohexene is telling me that the cyclohexene is starting at carbon number 1. But you could put in the 1 as an optional thing, and you'll see it both ways. Let's do one more example. Okay, let's name and number this one. Okay, I could have gone either way. The 2 methyl group substituents would both get the number 4 in this case. So this would be 4, 4 dimethyl. And I'll go ahead and put in the optional 1 cyclopentene. So I think that should get you started in terms of getting some more practice on regular straight chain alkene nomenclature, as well as cyclo alkene nomenclature as well. Have fun and good luck.